Hello. This video will highlight a few important topics from the Student Fitness Center and McCormick Hall Emergency Response Plan. The topics in this video will include evacuation procedures, what to do in case of a fire, targeted violence situations, what to do in case of severe weather, and our emergency coding system. Now on to our evacuation procedures. Building evacuations may be necessary for several reasons. Evacuations are required for fire alarm activations, confirmed or suspected fires, gas leaks, chemical spills, power outages, and immediately following an earthquake. In the event of an evacuation during severe or inclement weather, Student Fitness Center will evacuate to the Garmo Hall first floor lobby, and McCormick Hall will evacuate to the State Farm Hall of Business first floor lobby. Following the evacuation, the facility manager will receive the all-clear status from Environmental Health and Safety, Normal Fire Department, or Illinois State University's Police Department. Staff should enter the building first before allowing patrons or users back into the building.
What to do in case of a fire. When an evacuation has been ordered or initiated due to a fire alarm, all building occupants are immediately to evacuate. If you see smoke or fire, immediately evacuate by following the nearest exit signs. Some important items to keep in mind if the fire alarm is not already sounding. Evacuate your designated area of the building. Before exiting through a door, check the door handle. If the door handle or door are hot to the touch or smoke is present, do not open the door. Do not use elevators if evacuating due to a fire or a fire alarm. Evacuate to the designated evacuation assembling area. Advise emergency personnel if you are aware of any persons taking refuge in an area of rescue assistance. Advise the evacuation coordinator if you believe someone is missing or trapped inside and/or is in need of assistance. And lastly, do not re-enter the building until you are approved to do so by University Police, Fire Department, or Environmental Health and Safety. Fire alarms and fire extinguishers. There are several alarms and numerous fire extinguishers located throughout the Student Fitness Center and McCormick Hall. In the event of an emergency, it is important to know where they can be found. To see all fire alarm and fire extinguisher locations, please review the ERP document where a list can be found. When using a fire extinguisher, it is good to remember the acronym known as PASS. Pull the pin in the handle, aim the nozzle at the base of the fire, squeeze the lever slowly, and sweep from side to side.
Targeted violence situations. During certain circumstances, such as an active aggressor on campus, an ISU emergency alert may be issued with instructions to shelter in a safe location. Patrons and staff members should shelter in their current location that is safe and secure given the information that is above. Patrons will not be forced to stay and may leave during the event of an emergency if they decide. However, if they decide to stay in the facility, they must move to a safe, secure location in the building and may not continue their workout. If an active shooter is reported on campus, please remember the run, hide, fight model. If possible, run to a safe area and take precautions until the all clear message is issued. If you can't run, hide in what you believe to be a safe space. Get down, take cover, turn lights off, close the blinds, and if possible, lock or barricade the door. If you can't run or hide, fight. Response depends on the situation, which is unpredictable. Acts of violence may include, but are not limited to, armed robbery, persons with a weapon, shots fired, active shooter, and hostage situations. When any acts of violence have occurred on or near campus, an ISU emergency alert will be issued with necessary information. All personnel will need to assess their situation to determine the appropriate course of action.
What to do in cases of severe weather. The Student Fitness Center is a critical function for students and will remain on a normal operating schedule whenever possible. The Student Fitness Center will generally be open during regular hours, though portions of the facility may be closed. Classes held in the Student Fitness Center will only be canceled if Illinois State University is closed due to inclement weather. Formal programs such as group fitness classes or intramural sports may be canceled or postponed if playing conditions and/or instructors' travel are affected. During a thunderstorm, patrons can continue working out in our facility. We cannot require patrons to remain in the facility, and they may leave at their own risk. Things to consider during a thunderstorm. Be cautious of the weather. Severe weather may cause power outages. The pool does not close for thunderstorms or lightning. Should the power go out, retrieve flashlights and follow power outage evacuation steps that can be found in the full ERP document. A tornado may affect the operations of the facility. A tornado watch means that the weather conditions are favorable for the development of tornadoes or tornado-like activity. A tornado warning means a tornado has been sighted in the area. If a tornado warning is issued for ISU's campus, an emergency ISU alert will be issued instructing everyone to shelter. In the event that an ISU emergency alert has been issued for campus, Student Fitness Center staff should encourage patrons to seek shelter in designated areas. While staff cannot require patrons to stay in the building, if they stay in our space, they do need to shelter in a designated safe shelter-in-place location. Student Fitness Center designated shelter-in-place locations include men's and women's locker rooms, all-gender locker room, interior group fitness studios, and men's and women's restrooms. McCormick Hall's designated shelter-in-place locations include men's and women's faculty staff locker rooms, the computer lab, the heritage room, and interior classrooms on the first floor. The Student Fitness Center and McCormick Hall will operate in accordance with the university in the event of snow and emergency closure. If an administrative closure is declared before work begins, contact your supervisor as to whether to report to work due to weather conditions. If an administrative closure is declared while at work, a facility manager should contact the supervisor as to whether the building should remain operational. In the case of an administrative closure during a shift, please do the following. Wait to close the Student Fitness Center and McCormick Hall until the facility manager receives an ISU emergency alert or professional staff. Inform the patrons in the building that the Student Fitness Center and McCormick are closing due to severe weather. All patrons must leave the building. Post a sign on the door that states the Student Fitness Center is closed due to severe winter weather. Go through the closing procedures and secure the facility. And lastly, complete an incident report if there are any issues with closing and/or securing the building.
Earthquakes. The following steps should be used when dealing with an earthquake. First, remain calm. Second, seek refuge under a desk, table, or stable item and face away from windows or glass. Third, cover the back of your neck and head. If outside, get to the nearest open space. Stay away from buildings, overhangs, utility poles, trees, and power lines. Fourth, perform first aid at an evacuation assembly area. Fifth, contact professional staff. Sixth, complete an incident report. Team members to have first contact with the incident should complete the form with assistance from other team members or patrons that witness the event. Radio codes. To inform the rest of the staff about an emergency, we use codes to distinguish which kind of emergency is occurring. The code red involves an injury. Code blue involves a few different emergency situations, which are cardiac emergency, unconscious emergency, breathing emergency, or someone experiencing sudden illness. Code Adam is used in the case of a lost child. Patron priority includes a patron needing urgent assistance. When responding to emergency situations, remember to always have your fanny pack or first aid kit. Additionally, there are AEDs located throughout the Student Fitness Center and McCormick Hall when needed. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like a more detailed list of what to do in case of an emergency, shelter-in-place locations, or other Student Fitness Center, McCormick Hall Emergency Response Plan information, please contact your supervisor and they can reshare the Emergency Response Plan document with you.